Whether it makes you laugh, cry, scream, or fly, there's a song for every emotion. We're Mike and Priya, and we talk about the songs that make up the soundtrack to your life. Because life is in the lyrics.
I do love our intro music.
I know. Well, Mike, here I am snapping. How the hell are you?
I am really good.
Are you?
I'm working on fumes right now.
Yeah, I know. And that's why you went downstairs to get a glass of water. And I said, I hope you come up with a gin and Dubonnet. And what do you have in your hands there, Mike?
Gin and Dubonnet.
That's right. Why don't you have a couple of quick sips of that? Just ease your system, calm everything down.
It's not going to, what it's going to do is it's actually going to just tap into the alcohol that's already in my system.
Oh, did you have a big night?
I have been drinking nonstop for a week.
Wow, because you were away for work.
Yeah. So I was away for work at a conference. I went to St. John's, Newfoundland.
Yes, I know it well.
Amazing. That was my first time in Newfoundland. I have got to go back. It was so beautiful. The landscape is stunning.
It's incredible.
It is just incredible. And we were, St. John's is like basically the last eastern city of Canada. Right. There's nothing further
east. The most
east.
eastern city,
The most eastern, yeah. And it was amazing. And the people are so friendly.
I know.
They're just so nice.
Yeah.
Everybody was so nice.
You hear that about the East Coast.
Yeah.
And it's really true.
It is. And I love their accents.
I know.
Yeah.
Did you hear all the yes, bye?
Yes, bye. Yeah. They say bye all the time.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Like I's the bye that builds the boat and I's the bye that sails them. Do you remember that song?
No.
From when we were growing up? I's the bye that... Okay.
I don't think I ever had that. Although I do think that I might be having some memory problems.
Oh.
I don't know. There's a lot of things I'm just not remembering. It could be I'm spending more time with you and you're wearing off on me.
Or maybe it's like you're having memory problems. I have AD and ADHD.
Yeah. We're falling apart.
We're falling apart mentally and physically.
But I had an amazing time. Work was intense. So we arrived on the Sunday. We did a little bit of hiking. We went up to Signal Hill.
Yes.
Do you know Signal Hill?
Of course. It's the first thing people see.
And what is the importance of Signal Hill?
Well, I don't know that part.
It was where I'm sure there's other history, but it was where the distress signal for the Titanic came in.
That's right. You know what? I always forget that that we had such an important role to play in that. And by we, I mean Canadians. But very kind of a weird thing to think that we were involved in that in some way.
Yeah. And conference was busy, lots of stuff.
Drinking.
It was the after. So basically this conference started at 7:30 and it went till 6:30.
Oh my God.
It was a long day.
Right.
And then we would go for dinner and then we go for drinks and we were trying to get as much of St. John's as possible. And there's just, for a little town, there's a lot to see.
Yeah.
And their drinking culture, maybe? I don't know. Like their social culture. You have to go out. You have to go to the pubs. You have to go and experience. It's got a very Irish roots kind of vibe to it, right? And some of the pubs, when you go into some of these pubs, you really do feel like you're going into a time warp.
Yeah.
Or you're in a place where they really understand what it means to be community and for a pub to be a place of gathering. Every pub had a little corner stage. We saw some artists a couple of nights, and the one night there was this, young Newfoundlander, and he sang some covers and he sang some traditional East Coast music as well.
I love that music.
Oh, yeah. It was just, I love it so much. I want to go back. I'm going to take Dawn and we're going to do some exploring.
So you went to St. George Street, obviously.
George Street.
Yes. Which is like a 2-block street.
Yeah.
And probably like 75 pubs.
Yeah.
and bars.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you kiss the cod?
I did not kiss the cod. It was on the list of things to do and I could have done it, but then I was like, I don't think so. The opportunity when it did come up, it was on the very last day. We had booked a boat tour to go and see whales and puffins and icebergs. We didn't see any icebergs.
Okay.
Saw the puffins.
Yeah.
We saw the whales. I'll post a video to our Insta. And it was amazing. Again, the landscape was beautiful. It was gorgeous. But we were out on the water, and you could do the kiss the cod. You could have done it on the boat.
You can do it in all the bars too, though. They usually have a little
kind
of ceremony there that they do.
Yeah. But I mean, by the end of the day, I was exhausted. You know, I forgot what it's been probably a good 10 to 12 years since I've been to a conference. And I forgot how exhausting it was being on and talking and like just engaging with people constantly, you know? So,
and then the drinking after where you engage with them in a whole different way.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of fun though. And I just love it. And I can't believe at 57, that was my first time going there.
It's a great place. Like I really was surprised pleasantly surprised, I should say, at just how totally open and friendly everybody is. Like they just go out of their way to say hi and be friendly, which is so different from Toronto because most people kind of avert their eyes if you try to say hi, which is bizarre.
And you step towards the street, it doesn't matter where you are, and the cars all stop and they let you go. There's no, rushing by or anything like that, or honking or fingers out the window or anything. They're just so generous.
Relaxed.
Yeah.
Much more relaxed. Yeah. Yes, bye. Go ahead, bye.
Yeah, it was amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. And I highly recommend to any little listener, go out there and check it out. They're so much to do.
Best kind of people out there.
Yes, they are.
What has been happening since you got back? Because you really just got back a couple of days ago. And
I got back on Thursday evening. So at the time recording, this is Sunday afternoon. Got back Thursday evening, full day of work on Friday. And I have no idea what I did Friday night. Oh, no, Friday night just came home. Don and I had a night together. Because he was home taking care of Riva for the whole time. And it's funny, too, because Don is usually the one who goes away to conferences. It's very rare that I am the one who goes away and he's alone with Riva. So he kept sending me messages, and we talked throughout the week, but he was like, "We're ready for you to come home now," which is really nice.
Which means what? Just that it was like Riva was looking for you and stuff too, and it was just a lot?
Yeah, apparently Riva was very out of sorts and clingy. And it's also a lot taking care of a dog on your own, as you know, right? Like, I mean, you've got your roommate now.
Right.
And
don't put it in quotes.
So I got back Thursday and worked all day Friday. Saturday was a really busy day because it was like the one day that I have to get some of this. I have some projects around the house that I needed to get done.
Yes.
And I had to get that done yesterday. And the weather has been absolutely beautiful, perfect. So I spent all day yesterday with my tools and building and fixing that wall in the backyard. And then went out last night. We went to Grapefruit at the Eagle, the Black Eagle.
Okay.
It's like that's
a monthly party or something?
I don't know if it's monthly, but
I've heard of that.
Yeah, you and I have been to Grapefruit a few times. It used to be at Fly.
Okay.
And they play it's a lot of pop music, and sometimes it's retro.
And were people dancing? Was it?
Yeah.
We
were dancing.
Fun?
Oh yeah. And Dawn and a friend of ours, Bernard, they went to a concert. They were telling us about it, and it sounded awful. They said that the musician, I don't remember what the person's name was, but it was just all hoo 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 he.
What the heck is that?
Ha ha. I have no idea.
What's that?
It's some kind of weird, probably art music that.
Why would they go to that?
Who knows? It probably had some academic slant to it or whatever. But they went from that to the Black Eagle, bar full of gay men and danced to pop music. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a relief after the he.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. So I had a few drinks last night, and here I am again.
And here you are, just keeping that alcohol level up.
Yeah. So it's a very long explanation of why it's not going to take long for this to hit me.
Good. Well, it just felt like you were in a bit of a state.
Yeah, and then today has just been like running around.
Yeah.
We've got an event coming up again at the time of recording. This will come out after our event, but went to go see the venue.
Yes,
check out the tech.
That's right.
Do you want to tell our little listeners about the event? Well, it's not going to matter because they're not going to be able to go.
Yeah.
It will have already happened.
That's right. And we don't know how it went, so we can't report on that.
That's true. But listeners, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
In a few weeks, you'll hear about
the event that happened a month ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how about you? Because you've been dropping little hints that...
I think there's going to be some tidbits I'm going to mention that you're going to find very enjoyable.
Okay.
And we talked just a second ago about my friend Mira had mentioned, she had a suggestion for us that we should have a mic drop.
Okay.
Sound effect or segment, but a play on words being the mic being you and, the whole idea of a mic drop. And so maybe this is where that could come in.
Okay.
Okay. So I have mentioned recently that I went on a couple of dates with somebody.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I saw him yesterday.
Nice. Yeah.
So I went down to see him because he lives in Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the GO train out there yesterday and we spent kind of the whole day together. Right. But this was, I have to tell you, probably one of the most entertaining dates I've ever been on.
Really?
I did let him know that I was going to talk about it.
Okay.
I said, listen, just so you know, for transparency, we talk about our personal lives. I'll never mention you by name, but I will be referring to things. Just want to know in case you're uncomfortable with it, in which case I might censor some of it, but I'm not asking your permission, basically. I'm just telling you. So, okay. Totally so entertaining, Mike. I don't even know. We ended up at his place after he took me on a nice tour of the historic downtown Hamilton, or some of the beautiful houses. They have some really gorgeous houses there, right? Took me on a tour. And then we went to his place and we were watching a little bit of the game, the FIFA game. I think it was Germany versus the Ivory Coast. And he plays guitar, mandolin, and the mandola.
Wow.
So he had all of those there, right? So he was just showing me and he was playing some guitar and then playing the mandolin and the mandola. We're going to refer to him as the Scribe. That's going to be his code name, okay? So he's like a real history buff. He's an English major and a history buff, which I find really engaging because he's a really good talker. And I like people who can use the English language in a proper manner and who are interested in the world as opposed to just being interested in their gadgets or whatever, right? Okay. So he has this YouTube channel that he's working on.
Right, yeah.
About medieval history. Because
Did you get the name of it? Because I want to check him out.
We will talk about that after.
Okay.
I'm not going to disclose his...
Right.
He hasn't released it yet. But anyways,
okay.
So he does have... he's going to, in some of these videos, wear an era-appropriate outfit, right? Yeah. So I said, can I see your costume, please? And he was like, yeah, sure. And the thing is that he's so confident in himself that he did this without there was no ounce of embarrassment, although he was kind of laughing at himself as he was putting it on, the layers of it. So he puts on this cotton, rough cotton tunic.
Okay.
And then there's some sort of a robe on top of it. And then another, a cloak. And then he has a belt with a kind of a satchel. Where the scribe, I guess, would put their pencil and ink and stuff, right? and then he has a hat with a plume.
Where does he get all this stuff from?
I don't know. Amazon. I'm sure there are places. Okay. So as he's putting this all on, and I'm just I'm having a good giggle.
Yeah.
And he's it looks like he brings out Mr. Dress-Up's tickle trunk.
Okay.
And he starts putting these things on.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I bet you're wondering how your life has brought you to this point where you're watching a guy dress up in a medieval outfit. And I'm like, I really am. I really am, because I never in a million years would have imagined this would be my life.
Right.
But then there was also something so hot about it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was you are such a magnificent nerd in this moment.
Yeah.
But you're just glorifying owning it. And I was like, okay, anyways. So then we were making out a little bit, right? And getting into some nitty gritty there. And as previously to this, I was wondering whether I could imagine making out with him because he's such a character and so
so you hadn't kissed him before?
We had kissed.
But not.
But we hadn't full on make out session, right? A little kiss kind of on the street, whatever. And I was like, I wonder if he'll just be talking all the time or if he can get serious and just focus. Turns out he could get serious and focus.
And you couldn't.
And I
Oh my God.
So he had to say to me a couple of times, do you have to narrate everything this happens?
Oh my God.
And I was like,
okay, hold on. Time.
Mic drop.
Wait.
Drop.
Wait.
This is the moment.
Can we get an example of the narrating?
Okay.
Give us a very visual, like give us the details so we can visualize.
I mean, I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but like, so we're on the couch and we're making out and stuff, and I'm just like saying, so I don't even know what I was saying, but I was like, I actually don't remember, but I guess I was just chattering. And
while he's kissing you?
Yeah, like, and also in my head, Mike, I had the image of him in that costume, and I couldn't stop
wasn't
giggling.
in the costume
no,
anymore.
He took it off, and then he was going to put on his T-shirt, and I was like, whoa, that's enough. Just
so
stay
he
topless.
just didn't have his. He
had nothing on, just his shorts, and he's in really good shape. And so I was like, we don't need to put on any more clothes. And then that's when we got down to business. But then in my mind, I still could picture him with the plume in his cap.
Yeah.
Like Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Like, you find that hot?
I did find it hot, but also I was like, he was just wearing his medieval costume, and now we're making out on the couch, and my brain couldn't absorb the transition.
I wish you could remember what you were saying.
I don't know what it was saying, but I can ask him later, and I'll report back.
Were you saying, like, put this there, touch me there?
No,
not
like that kind of stuff. Not like telling him what to do, just like commentary on like what we were doing, and just like laughing at it. It was just ridiculous. I thought that was funny. And then at one point later, when he was waiting with me for the GO train, we were just sort of like, I don't know, we were talking about music or something, and I was... He was snapping for some reason. He goes, can you snap? And I said, yes. And I realized that I snap a lot when I'm dancing, and that's a problem. I just thought it was funny that he asked me if I could snap, and then...
It's not a problem.
It's not a problem.
And you have to own it.
He also said that.
Own the snap like he owns the medieval.
The garb, the medieval. Yeah. Oh, Mike, I wish you could have seen that outfit. It was something.
So you didn't take any photos?
I didn't. Damn it. Next time I'll ask him if I can take a photo. But then after we made out, then it was like really also hot. He played the guitar again, and he was like topless and serenading me with his guitar. It was and then we were singing a little together. It was a great night. It was a great, entertaining
sounds like
day.
A really good
super hot nerd.
Why is he single? That's a rhetorical question, but it's like, wow, okay.
I feel like probably maybe he's just a bit too much in terms of like he's very smart, he's very like entertaining, like he's very talkative, and I don't know, maybe he finally met his match. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. So has there been any shift in your
my positioning of it?
Yeah.
No.
There hasn't.
No.
Okay.
I think we're just gonna have a really entertaining time together and
have a good summer.
Yeah. Okay. And there's no
let things happen as they happen.
Yes, I have no agenda. Exactly.
Very good. Well, shout out to the Scribe.
He had to tell me to shut it. Yeah. Shut it.
Yeah. Did you tell him about this?
More than twice. No, I didn't tell him about that exact sound effect. Yeah.
But you told him about the podcast.
I did mention the podcast
so
later
he may be checking out.
Yeah, and I did tell him that I would be talking about it. Sans mentioning his name.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Well, Scribe, hopefully we'll get a chance to meet.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. Okay. All right. Okay.
So this week we are doing something very different, little listeners. We're actually talking about lyrics. Like we're going to do a deep dive.
Deep dive into some lyrics. Yeah. And how did we get to this topic, Priya?
It came about so organically.
It did.
When we were driving back from Tara, and you had me listen to some music, and then you were talking about this artist that you're really into, and would you like to say his name?
Noah Kahan?
Yeah. And then you were talking about some of his lyrics that really kind of hit you. And then I started talking about Casey Musgraves, who I've been listening to a lot lately, and I said...
And they did a duet.
And they did a duet.
Yes.
Called She Called Me Back.
Yeah.
Or She Calls Me Back.
She calls me back.
She calls me back. Yeah. And then I thought, hey, Mike, well, since we were both talking about these two artists, why don't we just talk about some of their lyrics that have really stood out to us?
Right. So the other part of this, which is going to be a little different, is that we've each picked an artist to talk about.
These
one
two.
Artist.
Yeah.
You've got an artist. I've got an artist.
I just said that.
Did you?
I just said that. Talking about how we were back in the car. You were listening to Noah Kahan. I started talking about Casey Musgraves, and then we said, well, let's just do a deep dive.
Right.
But I guess I didn't maybe...
You didn't say that
those are our two.
Those are our
right,
two.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess
You just can't wait to jump on me and like point out.
Well, because often I will say something, as you have noticed, and then immediately afterwards, what do you do, Mike?
I say it better.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, continue with your thought then.
I'll drink to that.
You'll drink to that. Can I ask you how you first, how and when did you first discover Noah Kahan?
I'm pretty sure it was Instagram. Well, you know what? It could have been CBC because the song that caught my attention was Style Drunk. And at the time, he was under my radar, although he was blowing up as an artist. He's been recording. Noah Kahan has been performing since he was 12.
Wow.
He and his mom would take him to bars. He's from the U.S. He's from Vermont. His mom would take him to these open mics in these local bars, and he would go and perform.
Wow.
And so since 12 years old, he's been performing music, and he's been writing his own music.
And how old is he now?
He's 29.
That's it, eh? Okay.
Yeah. And his mom, she is a best-selling author.
Really?
So she's a writer. And he talks about it. His mom really helped him in his songwriting because she would give him feedback about, how to clarify an idea or a feeling through the language that he would be using.
How
in his
cool.
songs. Yeah. So kind of a great collaborator.
Pretty neat. I didn't realize he was so young.
Yeah. Yeah. He's quite young. He's not even 30 years old yet. Yeah.
I guess because he has that facial hair and stuff, he just seems like he would be a little bit older. I thought he would be like in his 30s for sure. Mid 30s is what I thought.
No.
I got to look at a picture of him again just to see why I thought he was older.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does look like he's in his mid 30s, but
yeah. And his genre is, for anyone who's living under a rock and doesn't know who Noah Kahan is, I mean, he's massive now. He's absolutely massive.
Yeah.
Like globally, he's a big star. And his genre is folk pop, I guess. And but it's folky, not in a hokey way.
I like that.
Yeah, like he sings a lot about personal experience, but the way his songs are created, like the musicality crafted like, the lyrics are really clever, and evocative of feeling and nostalgia. And even though sometimes he's writing about personal experience, the lyrics are the kinds of lyrics that resonate well with you as a listener. Like for me, it taps into something and it makes me think about things that have happened in my life that are similar.
Yeah, he's got, even in the songs that you played for me in the car, like, because I was actually paying attention to the lyrics, he does create real stories, like real visual storytelling.
Yeah.
Which to me, I think lends so heavily into why I like Casey Musgraves as well, because they do create these lyrics that it tells a story, but it's like so descriptive.
Yes.
That you can actually see the song in your mind.
Yes. For me, it's like I can visualize the idea that is trying to be conveyed. And it's somehow my brain immediately connects it to something that I've experienced and makes that reference.
Well, let's hear some of those lyrics that do that for you.
So one of the challenges that I've had in preparing for this episode is that I've been listening to him a lot. And Stick Season, that album, I had on repeat for months.
Right.
Like a solid year, I would say. I just listened to that album over and over again. Every song on that album is incredible. He went on tour for that. He came to Toronto and he played the Molson Amphitheater. And we had some people over for dinner that night. Otherwise, I was going to go. And that was for the Stick Season tour. Almost a year later, he came back to Toronto, and he went from the Molson Amphitheater to Scotiabank Arena.
Wow.
Again, we had friends over for dinner, and I couldn't go to that concert as well. At the time of recording, in a week, he's going to be back in Toronto.
Don't tell me you have friends over.
No, I don't have friends over, but there's no way I'm going to be able to get tickets.
I wonder what he'd be like live, too.
Oh.
Does he play a lot of instruments?
He plays guitar and he sings. He's very engaged with the audience. His band is incredible. He has this stage, The Great Divide, is his new album. And his staging is really quite... It's kind of like... when I first saw it, it made me think of the folklore section of Taylor Swift's Eras tour.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's got this kind of projection of a like New England farmhouse, but it kind of has that folklore idea to it. And this album, he was produced with Aaron Dresser.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right. And some of the songs, when you listen to some of the songs, it's got that Aaron Dresser stamp to it that does definitely remind me or have nods to some of the sounds on Folklore,
right,
and Evermore.
And when you had mentioned that his style and his genre, that's exactly what I was thinking were those two albums.
Yeah. This album, The Great Divide, is unbelievable.
Okay.
So Stick Season was incredible. So he came around, and when that tour really blew up, he actually started doing these duets where he would sing songs from Stick Season with other artists. So he had Post Malone for Dial Drunk. Yeah. He had Casey Musgraves for She Calls Me Back. He had Gracie Abrams on a song. Like he's had Hozier, who's his idol apparently, also sang on a song. Like he's just had, incredible success with that album. And so I'm going to just stop because I'm like so...
I think
I could talk about him for a whole hour.
You know what? I think maybe we should just talk about him for this week, and we'll do Casey another week.
Really?
Why not? We'll just go back and forth talking about it.
So then this will be episode 1 of our deep dive into lyrics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what, guys? We're going to let Mike just continue on because there's so much to say, and I don't think we should cut him off because, when you really like an artist, you want to be able to express it. So let's do part 2 will be Casey Musgraves next week.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you very much for this. Yeah. Okay, so when we were driving back from Tara and we were listening to him, there was a song that came on, and I've been thinking about this exchange between you and me when the song came on because I thought it was really interesting, your take on it. Well, there are several lyrics in this song that are really quite powerful, but there's one that just kind of, whenever I hear this song, I think, oh my God, this is such a brilliant lyric. The song is called Lighthouse, and I don't know if you remember this song, but the lyric that really stands out for me is, you state a feeling like a fact. Like, just think about that. You state a feeling like a fact. And oftentimes I've thought, I don't know if you've done this, but oftentimes I've thought to myself, is this an opinion and a feeling, or is this something I know?
Right.
And is there a difference between something I know and something I feel and something that's a fact? What makes something a fact? Right?
That is fascinating. I was just talking with somebody about this in a completely different way, just in terms of like therapy. Like their therapist had been telling them, like, you're acting out of emotion, but are you acting based on facts? And so it's kind of a similar thing. Like, is it the emotion that you're reacting to, or is it the fact that you're reacting to? They're not necessarily the same. So that's an interesting lyric, even thinking about it that way. Like you say an emotion. What is the line?
You state a feeling like a fact.
Like a fact.
So in the song, it goes, roadkill fawn, you said how sad, left to rot alone like that. You state a feeling like a fact. I'm glad you left, but you'll be back. And then the chorus goes, so call me when it goes to shit. I'll be keeping the house the way it was. I won't rub your face in it. I swear I won't tell anyone. I don't mind being your dead end. I think it's fine to never move on. Keep my ear to the door frame, and I'll keep rooting for your downfall.
Right.
Do you remember that song?
I do remember that. Yeah.
And your response, I remember us having, we were talking about it, and I was like, the lyrics are so incredible in this song. And your response was something like, oh, well, that's really nice, rooting for your downfall or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I don't think we really got into it, but I want to know what that meant for you when you heard that.
I actually thought it was like, I didn't mean it sarcastically. Like I meant it in, I guess I did mean it sarcastically. Like, that's really nice to say, like, about somebody that you love. Like, I'm rooting for your downfall so that you'll come back to me, right? Is ultimately what he's saying, correct? Like, he's like, I'll keep the house the way it is because I know that you're going to be back.
Yes.
And I just thought that was a brilliant way to say it. Like, I'm rooting for your downfall. I'm rooting for things not to go your way so that you can come back to me. It's like, it is kind of a mean thing to say. Like, I want your bubble to burst so that you can come back to me. I just found it an interesting, like an
play on words or idea to
an interesting emotion to state out loud, but one that I think that so many of us have felt, like when somebody's left us, that and whether it's left us for another relationship or whatever, but like to say I'm rooting for your downfall, I just thought it was it's very evocative. It brings up so many different thoughts to me.
Yeah. Well, and I think the lyrics are so tender in that on the one hand, this song highlights that the protagonist is somebody who you could interpret as being the one that left the relationship, and yet the singer has this, or the person telling the story has this fondness for them and remembers that the person saw this roadkill and said, how sad.
Right.
And then he says, you state a feeling like a fact.
Yeah.
Like, oh, how sad. Well, what does that mean that is sad? Like, are you sad about it? Is that a reflection of your empathy or
is it just a statement like it is just a sad thing?
Yeah.
And everybody should agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if it's a criticism, but then to also say, well, call me when it goes to shit. Call me when your life implodes because I'll be here waiting. And I'm hoping that you hit a downfall in this new life that you're.
Yeah, it's kind of in a way, like a backhanded compliment, sort of, that I love you so much, I want you to come back to me, but also I want your life to fall apart so you'll come back to me.
Yeah, yeah. So, again, this is one of many songs where there are lyrics that I'm just like, oh my God, this totally, is making me think. It's not just I'm enjoying the music, but it's making me think about things or be reflective.
Right.
But
like, think about what? Like human nature, like feelings, emotions. What does it make you think about when that? Because it's a very short lyric. Both of those two things, like you state a feeling like it's a fact, and then I'm rooting for your downfall. Those are two very short lyrics.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole song is built around it.
But those two are the ones that stood out for you. So I'm just like, what is it about them that?
Well, what do you, like, when you think about relationships, whether they're friendships or any kind of personal relationship, do you not also sometimes think about your contribution to their success or their demise?
Sure.
And there's something there's something I planned on talking about, but I don't think I can do it because I think I might get too upset. Related to another song that's on this album. But one of the things about this album that really kind of hits me is that he's talked about this album being about struggling with his fame and struggling with the change, how fame and how his life has evolved and how that's impacted relationships, but also reflecting on other parts of his life where relationships have changed. So, Stick Season, he wrote that during the pandemic when he was at home living with his parents, dealing with mental health and addiction. He's been very vocal and open about that.
Right.
And some of the songs are really built around him trying to figure out and come to terms with how his relationships are changing, or how things that have happened in his life have impacted relationships. So, there's a friend that died. And so some of the songs talk about the kind of outcome of that and how that's impacted different relationships, his own kind of internalization of how he's dealt with that. I don't know if you know this, but he auditioned for America's Got Talent or something like that, or American Idol, and he didn't make it through. But he got a record out. He got a record deal out of that.
Wow.
So he performed well enough to get a record deal from like a record label saw
without
him,
making it to the show.
and he didn't make it to the show.
Insane.
And so he's on this trajectory, finished high school with his friends, and he's from Vermont in this small town, tight relationships. And again, part of this is my putting pieces together, and it could be and from things that he said, but it also could be the way I've also developed the story. But he's got this tight community of people that he cares deeply about. And he has talked about how important relationships and connection are. And he thinks they're on a similar track, even though they have different, interests and similar interests. He's been writing songs and performing, but he plays soccer with his friends and blah, blah, blah. He graduates from high school, thinks he's going to go to college, auditions for the show, gets a record label, and his friends were all off to college, and he's making music.
Yeah.
And, he's still this guy from a small town that's trying to hold on to this piece of him that is really important. But life, what's that saying?
Life is what happens when you're
busy making other plans. Yeah. And so he's on this trajectory, and he's trying to figure out how to manage fame and how to manage the attention and how to manage all this stuff.
And his life getting so much bigger. In
and,
a way, while
different.
his friends
are their lives might be bigger for them, but he's a star now, right? And he talks a lot about, in interviews, especially with this album, his hometown, talked about his family and friends. And in this one interview, he was talking about how he hadn't really talked to the people in his life about his songs and how they would come up in his songs.
Okay.
And so he spent a lot of time with this album having very, a lot of conversations with family and friends about what he was singing about and what he planned to sing about and write about. And I thought that was really interesting because, he said it's such a powerful experience to go out on stage and have 30, 40, 50,000 people singing your songs back to you.
Yeah.
These personal ideas and thoughts and reflections. But it's also, I can't remember the words that he used, but he felt like he was also losing pieces of himself because other people were owning those parts of himself. So these really personal things.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before with other artists and primarily Taylor Swift. Shock, I know.
There she's mentioned again. Yeah. I didn't do it.
But like the idea, I remember asking the question, like, do you think these songs take on other meanings for her when she's writing about something that was so personal in a particular time?
Right.
And for him, it's going to be, that's all, folks. I think it'll be interesting for him in 5-10 years to look back at this and get a sense of, okay, the struggle that he had in terms of trying to hold on to these pieces that are a part of him,
right?
But they've become something else, and
they've got a life of their own now.
Yeah, and that doesn't take away from the importance of what they are,
right?
To him, it's just they become a different kind of importance for other people.
Yes, and so both things are true, right? So it is the song that he wrote out of a personal memory of something he experienced, and then the song that has taken on its own life of what it means for the fans and for each and every fan. It's got to be so bizarre. And when you say for him to look back in 5-10 years, sometimes I think about even when I listen back to some of our first episodes, you know, even though it's only been a year and a half for us, but to see, like, it's a time capsule, right? Like we're creating a time capsule. And so for these artists to look back at something they wrote so early on in their career must be very surreal. And I don't even know what it does to your kind of your frame of mind to listen to a song that you wrote so long ago and what, as you say, it has become now. But I want to get a few more lyrics, but that song Lighthouse, I think even the title of it is so, again, evocative is the word that comes to mind. The idea of a lighthouse, right? Like, I will be the light that you can find in the storm.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens to you, you know where to find me and I will be here. I'm your safe harbor.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'll guide you. I'll guide you home maybe.
Yeah. Now, you were saying that it linked to another song that you didn't know if you could talk about because it might make you emotional.
Yeah. So the Great Divide is the album that came out, and then he's also put out an extended version of this album with added songs. And I don't know why I'm like so emotional about this, but I think I do know why. I don't know. I don't think I do know. I know why this is like emotional. The last song on the album is called Dan. And on this website, Holler, it's a website that basically talks about all different kinds of artists, and they kind of dissect the song, and they present like a summary of the song, what the artist has said about it, what their interpretation is. And this song, they say, Dan is arguably the most important song on Noah Kahan's 2026 album, The Great Divide, at least in terms of the overarching narrative. Throughout the album, Kahan reflects on fractured relationships with a childhood friend, and as we reach the final song on the album, Dan, it becomes clear who he's been singing about. Dan is a real person in Kahan's life, but he doesn't make it clear who exactly it is. And quite frankly, it's not for us to speculate. For listeners, Dan simply represents an old friend that knows our deepest secrets and has seen us at our best and our worst, with Kahan concluding the album with an ode to how much he cherishes this relationship. So it's a beautiful song, and the chorus goes, "'Cause I'm with my best friend Dan now, camping on the county line, hand around a middle light, waiting for the sun to rise, a couple of hometown heroes fighting over politics, sitting and remembering, young men from different sides. We're so alone most of the time. Most of the time we don't have anyone. Where do we go when we die? I wouldn't mind right here. I wouldn't mind at all." And so he's talking about this relationship with this friend, and it hit me. And probably because the album, as this article says, you know, like he's talking about relationships and he's trying to figure out where he's at with these relationships, or he's reflecting on his role in things around the different relationships that he's had. And you and I met because...
Well, you and I met through my ex.
Yes. Who I was really close with. And I honestly haven't really thought a lot about that relationship ending in a long time. And for some reason, Dawn and I have been talking about it. And I don't know why it came up, but he's asked me this question a few times in the last month or so. Do I ever think about what happened in that relationship? Or do I ever think about how the relationship ended? And do I miss him?
Right.
And I was like, at first I was like, oh, no, it's been a long time. Lots has happened, and you move on, you kind of accept things. And I I don't know if it's like weird, like just the weird thing of I'm putting things together, or the way sometimes life puts things in place for you at a certain time for you to be able to kind of, it's like now's the time that you need to think about it. So I've been on this kind of journey over the last little year and a half or so of self-reflection and, thinking about things differently about my life. And then trying to do some, more things. I'm trying to, what am I trying to do?
Like get out more and
I'm trying to be more
relationships.
Yeah, I'm trying to be more intentional about my life versus just letting things happen and accepting them. And with this album and the themes in this album, and then getting asked these kinds of questions, and I've said this before, and I don't know if I've ever said it to you or I've said it on the podcast, but there are certain people in my life that have had a pretty big impact. I don't know how it is that these interactions or these relationships have left that mark, but I've known for a long time that I've been missing a kind of friendship connection. And when I think about it, I think, like I have been kind of looking for that. And so all of this stuff kind of coming together, it's just like my brain is, it's like it's starting to unpack some things that I forgot that I'd packed away.
Right.
And, or maybe I'd packed it away and thought that I dealt with it, right?
That volcano is starting to erupt.
I hope it's not a volcano. I think hopefully it's more of a, it's like, let's take a look at this and let's say, have we really peeled the layers of this onion or something like that?
Well, it is hard. It is very difficult to let formative relationships go.
Yeah, that's a good word, formative.
So I completely get that. And I'm sure that there are a lot of people who will understand that. And, I've talked recently about reconnecting with somebody. And that was, I thought I had put it behind me and everything too. And so when they reached out, all of a sudden I was like, oh. And now like we've hung out several times and kind of you pick up right back in a way. But, like it has been so nice reconnecting with that person because I knew them for such a long period of time where I felt like I was becoming who I was going to be, sort of in my formative years.
Yeah.
So to have lost that, it's like there's that saying, you can't make new old friends.
Right, yeah.
So there are people who know you from so long ago, and the more those people kind of disappear from your lives, it's kind of like, oh, so I have these new friends, but like you don't know me. You don't know my whole story. It's it's a weird thing to have friends come and go in your lives, and it resonates what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do you have some other lyrics that you had outlined?
Yeah. Okay. So why don't I talk about one more song? And it's from Stick Season, and it really was a song that the first time I heard it, it's one of those songs where you are transported. That you can actually, for me, I can experience what this song, the feeling that this song is trying to convey.
Okay.
But it's also just like one of those songs that you can also roll the windows down, belt it out, and it's just, and I played it for you, and it's called The View Between Two Villages.
Oh, yes.
And the chorus goes, past Algebrook Road, I'm over the bridge, a minute from home, but I feel so far from it. The death of my dog, the stretch of my skin, it's all washing over me, I'm angry again. The things that I lost here, the people I knew, they got me surrounded for a mile or two. The car's in reverse, I'm gripping the wheel. I'm back between villages and everything's still. And you grew up in Toronto.
Yes.
And I don't know if you get this when you go to your childhood home.
Right.
I didn't grow up in Toronto. So I can remember, even when I went to university, I wasn't in Burlington, which is where I grew up. But I can remember those moments when I would go home and I would have this kind of feeling where, you're on the way back
right.
to where you grew up, where you developed a lot of who you were, that foundation of who you were that took you to, for me, university and then to other. And going home, and it's like a key has unlocked a part of you that is this really special, safe, really important piece of you.
Right.
And I can just I remember there were times when I would drive back to Burlington and I'd drive down Plains Road, or I'd go up Willowbrook, which went to where I lived, and just the memories of what it was like to walk on that street on the way to and from school, or the fort that I had and that creek, or the friends that I had that lived in this house, the third one down from mine,
Right.
And these are like these powerful memories that are really important in remembering, because they helped build that foundation of who you are as a person. And then thinking about, okay, well, how do I connect, or what decisions have I made, or what sort of choices have I made in my life that might have been started in this particular location or moment or experience, right?
God, there's so much around that concept, that idea of going home, that I think we actually should do a whole episode on that.
Yeah.
Because I remember you playing this song, and he almost takes us through his emotions as he's driving, like he's big city, my big life. And then there's a certain point where that drive turns into, okay, now I'm kind of in the middle ground. And then now I'm basically like, I've reverted to my childhood self.
Yeah.
And those memories and who I was and all of that. There's a lot in that.
Yeah.
idea.
And he obviously has a very tight connection to his hometown, and he's talked about it. He still does. So, for him, it's quite clear to me that this isn't just about going back and being nostalgic about the experience. He's still really rooted in this community and connected to this community. So it's a beautiful song. I love this song, and this was something that I definitely have this song on repeat.
Yeah. That is a perfect segue into the fact that next week we will talk about Casey Musgraves, but that idea about going home is something that she talks about a lot in her lyrics too.
Great. Okay.
And so her song, Dime Store Cowgirl, she says, I'm just a dime store cowgirl. That's all I'm ever gonna be. You can take me out of the country, but you can't take the country out of me. And then she says, it don't matter where I'm going, I'll still call my hometown home. So it's just, I think this is why they made such a good pairing on that song.
Yeah.
And the way they speak about each other, these two artists have a lot of respect for each other. And I just think it's because their storytelling is very similar and very picturesque. Like it paints these pictures of life. Music has many different colors it can paint. It can just be about the beat. It can just be about feeling the music and dancing, It can be about raging, like some people who listen to hard rap or heavy metal, they just want to feel that banging. But then there are songs that the lyrics, they just paint these pictures.
Yeah.
And lately, I mean, those are the kinds of songs that I'm gravitating towards. So I think this was a really cool episode to talk about Noah Kahan. And we're going to just continue down that road next week. So I'm curious to see what you think of some of her lyrics.
Great. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Well, little listeners, let us know what you think about this episode. And you can do that by writing in, sliding into our DMs on Instagram. That's The Little Podcast.
That's right.
Or you can email us at lifesinlyrics@gmail.com.
That's it, folks. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.